G'day everyone, it's PAX Day 2 and we're doing another creator dashboard with another fantastic creator and we're sharing the knowledge while we're doing it all live, and I'm here with UniverseAparts streams on Twitch and another fantastic content creator out of ANZ. And yeah, we're having a bit of a discussion about just how to improve streams, lots of different tools. But let's start with a bit about yourself, Uni.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about yourself.
So my main work has always been like retail, and I did have a chance to work at EB for a little while. So I've always been a gamer for a very long time.
Yep.
And in the back of my mind, always thinking like, oh yeah, content could be a thing. You know, you watch enough YouTube, you're like, oh, maybe I could do something like this as well. But it wasn't until COVID lockdowns in 2020 that you're stuck at home and you need something to do.
Yep.
And then you end up watching Twitch, and then you see friends that you know online who are streaming on Twitch, and then picking a part of their knowledge and going, okay, I think I could give this an actual crack.
So yes, you've been doing it since 2020, and overall it's been a very good experience for you?
Absolutely. I've had my share of hate raids and follow bots and stuff.
Yeah.
But, when it comes to that kind of thing, I'm fairly resilient, and I've always just had a good time on stream.
Yeah.
And it's never, I'm not going to say never, but it rarely takes a lot of mental exhaustion on my part. So I've been consistently streaming 3 nights a week for the last 4 years. Fantastic. Breaks for holidays and carving out family time, that sort of thing, which is super important. You have to live your real life, but I'm pretty proud of the consistency and the level of content that I've been able to deliver.
Fantastic. So what kind of content do you deliver through your Twitch?
So variety.
Yep.
So define that how you will, but it is mainly gaming.
Yep.
And every so often I will build Lego.
Yep.
I'll do something else that's creative.
Yep.
I've painted, bring out stuff for bigger streams. And I also sing and play guitar.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll wear my cosplays as well. And if the game allows, what I really like to do is, if the game allows, because they have no voice acting, I will do the voice acting.
Cool.
So I get to play around with a lot of effects and different accents, and obviously changing all of that. It's and I was inspired to make that kind of a bit of a niche after having a talk with one of my ex-managers. Okay, but why are you streaming on Twitch? What are you doing with it apart from just... It's a helicopter. All right, we'll pause. It's the spot for it.
Yeah.
So one of my older managers, when I met up with him, was like, well, what are you doing on Twitch that's so different to everyone else? And then I thought, well, I know that I can do these voices, so let's incorporate it into that fact, and found a way to make it as unique as I possibly can. But it doesn't mean I don't like a good, well-polished action game. But the voice acting games, things like Zelda or Pokemon, perfect vehicle for that sort of thing.
Fantastic, that's awesome. All right, so apart from Twitch, do you dabble in other channels?
I've been on Instagram for a lot longer,
Yep.
because my main sort of content that I thought that I would like to do is cosplay.
Yep.
So most of my Instagram is that. Fancied myself potentially being a bit of a model, but I like the idea of doing voice acting, and video production now sort of has taken hold of my mind.
Fantastic. So, cool. All right. Well, let's dive in a little bit to more of what we were going to talk about. So, what we wanted to discuss was different things and different ways you can improve your streams, and how people can I guess, because there's a lot. It's not like 7-8 years ago where streaming first started and it was basically just OBS. There's a lot more available to you now. So what are some of the things people can do to help improve and get more value out of their streaming?
You're 100% right. The space has evolved so much, and there are some dedicated software engineers that are providing so much tools to the community that there's, and I don't want to make anyone feel bad, there's kind of no excuse to sort of make things look bad, I suppose. And of course, there's lots of websites that will have pre-built sets of graphics that you can obviously get your hands on, and themed animations to go with that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with paying for a little bit of production value. I've done that.
It makes a massive difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, huge.
A little bit of package that I bought when I first started, because it had a nice color of red that I really liked.
Yep.
And I still use a very small amount of that to this day.
Yep.
And and I produce everything sort of around those as well and try to make it fit. The other thing, and you'd find lots of YouTube videos to talk about this topic, are plugins.
Yep.
And this is where these software engineers I mentioned before will have come out of the wood grain to like really deliver some great stuff. Things like the move transition and gradients and drop shadows and all that sort of stuff as well. And so there's one creator who probably spends all of his time on the OBS forums. His name is Exeldro.
Yep.
And he is the king. He is the most modest guy I have ever seen on Twitter about the stuff that he produces, but he is so knowledgeable and kind of sits at the background but produces all of this stuff, and we just get this amazing benefit from him. On top of having all of these different plugins, because it's all well and good to install these things and apply them to your scenes, but it can be a little bit difficult to control them in a sequence and to make them really eye-catching, I suppose, as well. So there's a couple of different sort of automation programs that you could have running alongside, say, OBS.
Yep.
Couple of which, that I've got off the top of my head is Mix It Up.
Yep.
And Mix It Up has been really good. It's like one of the OGs. Yeah. It's been around.
I've used Mix It Up.
Yeah. I've never personally touched it, but I know it's been around for a long time, and a lot of people, a lot of other content creators like ship out packages that have built-in assets along with the coding or the sequencing to go along with that, so that people have these interesting features on their streams. But I'm the kind of person who will try to build everything from scratch.
Yep.
And so the program of choice for me is StreamerBot.
Yep.
Streamer.bot.
Yep.
And that's a pretty powerful program because you can share code like you can with Mix It Up, which is really good. So if you're not the kind of person who would like to program things from scratch, and someone more knowledgeable is able to do that, then it's really easy to just share that sort of content and get it all going, and you make some tweaks. But it also has C#, so if you wanted to actually try to code a little bit and get really nitty-gritty with it, then you've got that flexibility.
Yep.
But it's got regular sort of logic, if this happens or if this equals that, then you can make this or that happen.
Yep.
And just have a sequence of events. And I've used that particular program to do like all sorts of stuff. A couple of examples, if I can.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I've used it to create a bit of an interesting reveal that will sort of make the current scene that I have move off screen, and then will reveal an animal like a pet, cat or a dog. I think there's a bird in there, and there's a screen in the background, and then I've managed to put my stream superimposed on that screen. So it looks like the animal is watching
your screen.
The stream.
That's clever, yeah.
But the implication through the channel point reward that's activated by implies that chat is the animal.
Okay.
Chat is the animal. You're a bunch of animals. You're filthy animals, sort of thing. So,
yep, clever. I like it. Yep.
And that took a lot of prototyping and a lot of misfires to work out where everything was going wrong.
Yep.
And when you're in the middle of the stream and something goes wrong, you keep calm and you try to revert it back, and that's fine. You disable it, you try again later.
Yeah.
Another one is simple toggles for voice effects, which I mentioned before.
Yep.
And there are, as well as plugins that will add effects. There's visual effects. There's ones for audio effects as well. And for the non-audio engineers, VST plugins is what we're looking at in that particular space. And there's a really great set of free available ones called the Reaper plugin, and it comes with all sorts of effects that you would probably typically see on an amplifier or like a guitar pedal board. So, your reverbs and your distortions, your pitch shifting,
probably
that sort of thing.
A little bit more in-depth than like your filters that you can put in through OBS.
Absolutely. It's really great to like have a blur or something, but not everybody is going to be doing voice filters as well. So having a pitch shift to make things lower now things start to sound draconic or demonic.
Yep.
Having pitch shift up, things start to sound ethereal, or at least in my particular case, I can make things sound a bit more feminine, for the female characters that I might want to voice act as well.
Yep.
Adding on a reverb, so you got a bit of an echo effect to make things seem otherworldly as well. And one of the effects that I made pretty much on the fly, I was playing Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages.
Yep.
And we're introduced to the boss, like the big bad guy or the big bad lady at the beginning of the game. Fairly early on, she takes over the body of the actual Oracle of Ages herself, and then uses that to wreak havoc. But that idea of like possession, in the middle of the stream, I was like, I need to develop a voice for this.
Yep.
And ad hoc'd my way into having two versions of my microphone going.
Yep.
One with a lower voice pitch and one with a high voice pitch. So it sounds like there's this two-tone. This ethereal voice plus the voice of the person whose throat is being used.
Yep.
And I spent maybe half an hour in the middle of the stream. It became educational content.
Yep.
Guys, this is how you can build this kind of thing. Set it up on a Stream Deck button. Click on, click off. And I've used it like in so many more other applications as well.
Yeah,
It's been amazing.
Okay, so a lot of this can be quite, overwhelming and like hard to learn. So I'm guessing a lot of it's probably just trial and error, like figuring it out and just experimenting. I guess there's nothing you can really do wrong that you can't just undo by, at the very least, uninstalling and reinstalling OBS. But where do you go to learn all this kind of stuff?
So some really great YouTube resources. A couple of people that I can name drop at the moment would be Nutty Lamau. He's always building stuff on his own streams, and anything that he builds that he thinks worthwhile, he'll chuck on his YouTube as well. Who else? Andy Lippy or Andy Stone, another great content creator. He's doing a lot of stuff on stream as well, always building stuff. And he's got a few services, paid and unpaid, where he'll build widgets as well. But just the ideas that these guys are coming up with have been really inspiring.
Yep.
Gael Level, Gael, is another one. He lives in France, and he's more of a graphic designer, but he has dabbled in a few OBS sort of stuff, sorts of things as well. They're the main three. Like Harris Heller, we all know Harris
Heller. Legends. Yep.
Obviously general advice, but like there has been some other stuff as well. That
he does like the vertical stream stuff he's been making. I'm a big fan of Harris Heller. It inspires me a lot for what I do here.
But he's one of his former editor, Sam.
Yep, I know.
And some of his stuff has been like really inspirational. Like he showed how to, this one tutorial I remember, it was building a 3D model in After Effects and rotating it so that it could be used as an alert. And he made like a crown, and that was supposed to be for like a subscription icon that it would rotate. And then I ended up using that to build my own transition.
Oh, sweet.
That ended up, it's because I used my logo, and
that's a cool logo, by the way.
Thank you,
yeah,
thank
really
you.
Cool.
But I've used this logo, and it will turn around, and then when the A is exposed, the next scene is visible through it, and it will zoom in.
Oh, that's clever.
And it sort of like moves it in and out, and then, so instead of just like covering the screen, doing that cut and then it being removed, at the track mat transition, I built it from scratch. It takes a lot of resources to run it on stream, but it's that do-it-yourself attitude that I have that makes me proud of like something that I build in that respect. Fantastic. And you watch one thing, you inspire, and you twist it for yourself, and then it becomes ingrained.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so what's like some general piece of advice for creators wanting to get a little bit more out of their streams that you could like share to the crowd?
That's a good question. I would say two things, and I think I'm saying this for myself. Is ask people, regardless of whether or not you think they'll say no.
Okay.
Yeah. There's been plenty of people who like I've reached out to and nothing happens, but then you reach out to people and they become even more hyped about the idea than what you are. And even though you could like sit in your room, sit in your study, sit in your studio and watch all these YouTube videos and learn, you're probably going to get more hands-on experience by working with someone else, because they'll have an idea about how to handle something that you never thought of.
And it's always good to ask other people for their opinions and advice, because like you might be completely missing something that could like make or break something, or like just be the complete answer you've been looking for, and they'll just go, oh yeah, how about this, and you're like,
yeah,
what?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like there's a few times that I've done a few sort of like interviewee streams, and I would like sit down with that person and I would be like, so this is how I've sort of done this in the past, this is how I built it, do you want to do it in this way? And they're like, oh my goodness, I never thought of it in that particular way. And I've been taught a few things from other people as well. It's like, you just have the chance to talk one-on-one with someone, and I'm like, okay, well, I have you. How did you do this one thing? They're like, oh, it was this. Of course it was that way. And then you can do it in the way that inspires you.
Fantastic. All right, awesome. Well, because we're on a learning journey, now what's one thing that you want to learn more about?
You got me again. What do I want to learn more about? So yeah, having streamed for so long, that's like, I could probably do it with my eyes closed, you know? I feel like I can always make it entertaining, and there's always something to do, and I know who's going to rock up, and I'm always going to be able to have a good time. Even when I've had a really bad day, I know I can turn on stream and it'll be fine. It's the interpersonal stuff and working with more people, and so yourself included, and reaching out for opportunities as well when you see them, even if you're thinking like, nah, they wouldn't pick me, or like, oh no, I don't think they'll actually think my skill set is like what they could find useful, and sort of just like believing in yourself more so. It's, oh well, you can believe in yourself when you're at home. I feel most people, it's like, this is my space, I've created this, I'm safe here, but it's getting out of your comfort zone and going after opportunities. I feel like that's the one thing that I need to learn for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, just to kind of rebuttal, like follow up from that, what are you going to do to do that?
Well, we're doing this, which is absolutely great, and I'm super thankful that you were interested in the ideas that I had. Yeah. The other is just like actually just going up to people and introducing myself. Yep. And then, following up with like what it is that they're doing and seeing if it vibes. Yeah, cool. Yeah. And creating a short list of things. I took a big, massive risk at DreamHack and filmed a bunch of stuff. Have I had the chance to edit? No. but I have all that footage. But it took me going up to a person like, hey, on Saturday or on Sunday, can I grab you for this? Yeah. And
well, at least you made that first step.
Exactly, and no one said no.
Yeah.
Which is the fabulous part about that experience as well. And even if they did, I knew that I had a bunch of people who they had a chance of saying yes. And then run around the convention trying to find them and when they're available.
I know that struggle. Awesome. Well, it's been fantastic having you here.
Thank you.
If you want to go check out all the stuff that we're talking about today. Am I off camera?
Oh my God.
Off camera. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh well. God damn it. Go check out UniverseAparts streams.
Yes.
And you can check out everything he does there. If you have enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to the Creator Dashboard for more content advice. And enjoy the rest of PAX.
Oh no.
Yeah.